Hi, and welcome to Terry Travels, and welcome to a very noisy Southern Cross station again. Another trip on a train and a coach. A big one, 300 plus kilometres I'm doing. I'm looking either way because I'm in a quiet area and I thought it's a little bit private, but there is a place to put the tripod, which is nice. So, bottom line, I'm going to Lakes Entrance, way down on the Gippsland coast. I've got to get a train as far as Bairnsdale, and then I've got to take a coach to Lakes Entrance. And Lakes Entrance, it's going to take me till lunchtime to get there, and it's now 7 o'clock in the morning, or 6 something or other. What time is it? 6:35 in the morning, so it's going to be a long morning. Then I've got a couple of hours there, and then I'm going to fang it back on a coach and a train. And that's how it goes. I've actually found out there's a slightly earlier train that'll get me part of the way. It'll get me as far as Trafalgar or Traralgon, one of the two. Probably Traralgon, I think it is. That's going in about 20 minutes, so I might catch that one and get at least part of the way earlier. Then I can change trains to the Bairnsdale train and go from there. So hopefully that's all going to work out for me. I don't fancy hanging around Southern Cross for another hour, so I'll take the train that goes half an hour earlier than the other one. So I'm going to go get a coffee. It's all going to go well, hopefully. And the other thing too is when I get to Lakes Entrance, there are about 8 thrift stores in Lakes Entrance, small town on the coast. 8 thrift stores to check out for movies and DVDs, so I'm going to do that. So let's get going. I'll get the coffee, I'll find the train on platform 15A, and we'll go. The other thing I forgot to mention is that public transport is still free in Victoria. So essentially I'm getting nearly 800 kilometres worth of travel today for absolutely zip. I'm kind of happy with that. It feels sneaky, but it is totally legal, even if I do have to get up really early. I'm kind of tossing up whether to get the Traralgon train, which leaves in 13 minutes, or the train directly through to Bairnsdale, which leaves in 52 minutes. The pluses and the minuses are, if I take the Traralgon train, I'll get to Traralgon a little earlier, and I can maybe look around for a little bit. But if I take the Traralgon train and change the Bairnsdale train, I don't know what seating's like. If I take the direct Bairnsdale train, I will definitely be getting a decent seat. So I'm still tossing that up, and I'll let you know a bit later what decision I make with that. That's not our train here. That's going to Warren Ponds. That's the one I take if I'm going home. And I timed that pretty well, I think. But for the most part, we're on track. Nothing's gone wrong. They haven't done a coach replacement for the train, which is really good. And everything should be hunky-dory. Unless it isn't. So we're on the Bairnsdale train. I didn't go to the Traralgon train, which I really should have. Could have got off at Yarragon and got a pie there and then hopped onto the Bairnsdale train later. But I didn't think about that at the time. It's a sunny morning. It's going to warm up a little bit. Probably going to get to Bairnsdale just before noon. And then it's about another hour through to Lakes Entrance from there on a coach. All the adventure, all the fun. We're now going through Flinders Street Station, as you can see there. We're currently underneath Federation Square in Melbourne. But I'll talk to you a little bit later. We'll get a little bit of B-roll happening, and it will all be wonderful. we got to Warrigal and it's looking very soggy outside. That can't be good. But we've got a lot further to go, so I'm hoping it'll get a little sunnier by the time we get to Lakes Entrance. There is the pie shop at Yarragon, just through the trees there, where we stopped last time. This is as far as I've gone on this train before. Everything from here on is new to me. So we're just pulling into Yarragon now, and after that we head on to Trafalgar and Moe and all those places and on. I just looked at the map and we're less than halfway to Lakes Entrance. That's a bit scary. It's a long way to go, but we're going to get there, and the weather is going to clear up. I've checked the radar. The weather's going to clear up and we should be okay to go the distance and take a look at Lakes Entrance. Okay, we're pulling into Trafalgar now, and the weather has cleared up a bit, which is good news. I haven't been this far down on the train before. It's kind of wild, and the distances are getting longer between stations, which I kind of like. But yeah, still a way to go, and I don't mind that at all. I'm enjoying just grooving here. Reading some books on Kindle, listening to some podcasts. Yeah, it's going well. And there we have suburban Traralgon. The Latrobe Valley is where they've mined brown coal for about a century to keep the energy going in Victoria. And we're heading down to where the big brown coal power stations have been. They're eventually phasing them out, but that's why all of these towns exist, is to service the energy needs of Victoria. Though we are going to a lot to renewables these days. A lot of these power stations are about to close down because they're not economical in the new era of renewable energy. I know we've gone a long distance because they just changed train drivers on us, which is something I haven't seen before on the network. Still a way to go, and the weather's looking a bit windy out there, so I'm not sure that those blue skies that you can kind of see up there are going to continue, but we'll wait and see. Okay, we're about 20 minutes from Bairnsdale, not too much further, and then I've got to get onto the coach to Marlow, which goes through Lakes Entrance. So there's still a little way to go, but it's going to be on a different form of transport. I think I'm going to wait until I get to Lakes Entrance to have something to eat. I'm not sure how many of the op shops, the thrift stores, I'm going to be able to check out, because I've got about an hour and a half there before I have to get back on another coach and come back again. It's the nature of things. But almost to the point where I get off the train. Okay, we've reached Bairnsdale and there are the buses. I've got to get on one of those buses over there to get to where I'm going. Weather's nice, it's sunny, so we're doing all right. Hopefully we can get a good seat, but we'll see. And we're more or less on time. Let's get on the bus. There's a sign there that says you can get a bus to Canberra from here, the nation's capital. It's pretty wild. Got some nice architecture around here as well. Hi and welcome to Lakes Entrance. We have made it. Got here successfully. It's a bit windy, but it's not particularly cold. And here's me. So yeah, haven't had lunch, but I'm going to go for a walk first. And then after I have a walk, going to get some lunch, look around some op shops, have a good time. Lots of people around, lots of boats around. Some of them are cruisers, some of them are fishing boats. I'm going to go head down towards the fishing boats now. I'm going to see if I can get to the bridge that goes across there, if I have time. And from there I'm going to go down to the beach if I possibly can. It just depends. Like I said, lots of people. Not a bad trip all up, a little bit slow, but the bus was good. Had a good time on the bus. Apart from the fact there was a lady on the bus who changed seats because she said a guy punched her on the bus. It wasn't made a fuss of. She didn't talk to the driver, but very odd. And I hope she's okay. Now let's look over here. The water gets a bit shallow there and gets deeper on that part of the channel, which is kind of cool. I can't see any fish in the water though, which is a bit of a shame. I won't look for food either, because there is a McDonald's over there and there's a KFC back there. And there's also other places to eat. So shouldn't have a problem. Just got to keep an eye on the time. Ooh, toxic algae. This is why we can't have nice things. Toxic bloody algae because of human fertilizer going into the water. Not cool. But I'm actually walking above the water here. Let me show you. Because if you look down there, there's a grill. And the bit I'm walking on is actually a grill above the water. And we're coming up on some fishing boats up here. Seagulls. Fishing boats and private boats by the look of it. You can also rent canoes in season, I think. Nice place. I've been through here before on my way to Sydney via the coast road, but I haven't actually lingered here for a while the way I am now. It's about 3 kilometres or so to the bridge, so unfortunately I'm not going to make it, and instead I'm going to show you a big bloody pelican sitting in the water there. There he is. Hope he's not affected by toxic algae. So what I'm going to do is sit down, stop zooming as well, sit down, work out where the local op shops are, the thrift stores. Here's some thrift stores, get some food and go from there. Talk to you in a little bit. There is an antique place on the corner here, but I don't need antiques. Shed collectibles out the back, it says, but I don't need any. Nor do I need a pig, it would freak out the cats. But according to what I've been told, there is an op shop up here. St. Brendan's, it says. Looks like they have food trucks around here too. Burgers and tacos and chimichangas. Nice. But I'm in search of an op shop. Op shop now open. I'm told the good stuff's in the shed, so I've got to go to the shed, which is here. Let's see what we have in the shed. Tons of stuff.
I think so, I don't know.
Novels, $2 each. Spotted some cassettes, but no movies. Fair bit of vinyl. Let's see what we can see over here. 5 for $1 DVDs and Blu-rays. Nice. I'll tell you what, if anybody's collecting VHS, there's a shit ton of them in there. Might be an idea to check it out if you're down this way. Time to find another one. There's some great old houses along here too. Country Fire Authority over there. Definitely old school. We're very far from the city here, and it is something of a summer resort town, but it ain't summer. But around the corner and down the road a bit is another op shop. That's where I'm heading. I'll look at that one, then I'll get my lunch and regroup. There's a bowling club over there. They sometimes have lunch, but not doing it. Okay, that op shop's not open on Tuesdays, so let's try somewhere else. There's a Central Hotel right next to the Central Motel, which are both very central. There's a tattoo and a travel place there. You can get pierced, and it says bloody good coffee. But I know that brand of coffee beans, and they're not telling the truth. Fresh prawns, live crab, which can be cured with vinegar. Okay, time for me to get lunch. Okay, it's got windy. I've had lunch. Everything's fine with that. I've had lunch. But I also hit the op shop across the road at the one of the churches anyway, and they had a box full of DVDs and Blu-rays for 50 cents each, which I think they're ripping themselves off with. I got 3 things and I just said, take $5. I tend to do that when they're incredibly cheap. And I'll show you what I got. I'm going to do a bit of a haul in the middle of this travel video. Yeah, we are. First off, on DV&D, which I don't have, I stationed Zebra with Patrick McGowan, Rock Hudson, Ernest Borgnine, Jim Brown, directed by John Sturgis. Got that. Terrific. Didn't have it. I'm going to watch it. Then I got season 1 of a series about gangsters by the look of it. It's about the mafia. Don't know anything about it, but at that price you're going to give a go to Bad Blood season 1. Got that. Talked with a nice lady there. She's really nice. She was a bit surprised that somebody wanted to pay more than the asking price for things. And then the third thing I got is an Academy Award winning Blu-ray. By the way, the Bad Blood is a Blu-ray. Moonlight. I got a copy of Moonlight, which I don't have, Barry Jenkins' Moonlight. And all up, the 3 of them cost me $5. They would have cost me $1.50 had I just kept it to the requested amount. But no. Nice place. Nice people. Another nice person too. I was walking into where I had lunch, KFC, and an Indigenous guy walked past and said, "Hi, how you going?" I went, "Oh, fine, thanks." Yeah. So friendly people in Lakes Entrance for the most part. A couple of very shifty looking people as well, but every place has that. And have a look behind me. Let me scroll down. Not a worse. There are a lot of worse places in the world, really, aren't there? I mean, this is a really lovely part of the world, and tons of boats. I could spend days exploring this place, and I didn't even hit all of the op shops. There's more of them behind there. I'm going to go and perform ablutions, then I'm going to get on the bus in about, how long? 30 minutes to 40 minutes. and start heading back to Melbourne. But it's sunny, it is a bit windy, it's a little cool, but I've got fresh air in my lungs, I've got KFC, I've got Blu-rays and DVD, and I got out of the house, all for nothing. And I was talking to the lady over at the op shop, and she went, oh yes, you can travel without paying this month. And I went, yeah, you can, you should do it. Those are definitely working fishing boats, all of them, which is kind of cool. They go out into Bass Strait and get seafood. There we go, wooden sculptures honouring the First World War dead and injured. I just walk around them, and there we go, World War I nurses, sculpted in 1998 by a guy called John Brady. And there of course is the wheelchair. Beautifully done. And there's another one too of Simpson and his donkey down here. And there's one past that as well. They're just outside the RSL Motel. And there it is. Simpson and his donkey. Again carved by John Brady. And there's a sculpture about Simpson helping the wounded at Gallipoli. Incredible stuff. And quite moving as well. Let me go around the other side. Haven't got it at the best light at this time of day, but beautiful war memorials.